consecutive game in left field, also batting cleanup. Zach Tillery is the DH, he bats fifth. Nick Halamanteris is the first baseman, he'll bat sixth in the order. And rounding out, Logan Moon in right field, Danny Brennan in center field, and Chris Barnett, the catcher, and number 9 hitter for Wilmer. The Stingers will be facing Matt Kent for Rochester. Kent comes into the game with a 2-0 record with a 2.86 ERA. He'll be making start number 4, first time this season that he's faced the Stingers. Got a good strikeout to walk ratio, 4-1, 16 strikeouts on the season, only 4 walks surrendered. And if you're watching at home, you can see the Stingers here on Veterans Appreciation Night, displaying an enormous American flag just behind the mound.
O'Meara is a helicopter pilot and a second-generation Army veteran. Carrying the American flag is Mike O'Meara. Mike is a veteran of the U.S. Army and served in the Vietnam War. Mike is the proud father of Dan O'Meara. Carrying the Marine. We watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander Mitch Schuler.
And after a moving presentation of the colors and a singing of the national anthem, we're nearly ready for baseball. Again, the Stingers taking on the Rochester Honkers. Wilmer with a 21-11 record. Rochester comes into the game with a 17-15 record.
Of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a full house tonight, so we want to invite you to come together and enjoy tonight's game.
So we've already gone through the Stingers offensive lineup. Let's go around the horn. Andrew Wick is making his debut as a Wilmer Stinger. Wick, out of North Carolina State University, will be pitching, and his catcher will be Chris Barnett. Nick Halamanteris is at third. Tyler Leffler out of Bradley University at second base. And then Max Kuhn at third out of Kentucky. Alex Soleil is your shortstop out of St. Louis University. Mark Flores out of Hawaii in left field. Danny Brennan, also a St. Louis Billiken, he's in center field. And then Logan Moon rounds things out. Moon from Central Arkansas, a native of the Kansas City, Missouri area, so big shout out to Logan. As the players delicately fold up the flag behind the mound, where Andrew Wick will be operating tonight. Wick, as I mentioned, a member of the Wolfpack coming out of North Carolina State. Also attended junior college at Western Nevada College, which stands at 5'10", 175 pounds from Greer, Washington.
And Uncommon USA. Please give a warm welcome.
With the Wolfpack in the last season, Wick had a 3.09 ERA, a 6-1 win-loss record. He appeared in 26 games, so primarily, actually solely, a reliever for the Wolfpack. He'll be making the start tonight. He pitched a total of 46 2/3 innings, giving up just 16 runs. And he struck out 45 in that span, so this is a kid who strikes out a batter nearly every inning. We'll see if he can bring the heat here tonight. After Max Homick last night picked up his first win of the season, he's now 1-2. Now Jake Gronsky behind the plate receives the ceremonial first pitch. And now we're nearly ready for baseball.
Jake, on behalf of all the Stinger Nation, please receive for your brother our utmost thanks and respect.
So Barry's ready to go. That means that everyone else is champing at the bit to get baseball underway here. Wilmer trying to stay in the playoff chase. They have 4 games, including tonight's game, remaining in the first half of the season, whereas the Waterloo Bucks, they're in action right now in a 1-1 tie in the top of the second inning against the Mankato Moondogs, including tonight's game against Mankato. Waterloo has just 3 games remaining, so a slight advantage in that regard for Wilmer, but it's more or less mitigated by the fact that Waterloo owns the tiebreaker. In their one meeting with the Stingers, the Bucks won that game 2-1. That was all the way back on May 31st. Those two teams won't meet again until much, much later in the season. So the Stingers take to the field Andrew Wick onto the mound to make his pitching debut. Wick wearing number 30, formerly a number worn by temporary player Tyler Hamer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stingers are so excited to have so many people out here tonight for Veterans Appreciation Night. If you can do us a favor, if you've got room, squeeze in. Get to know a Stinger Nation friend. Trust me, they're the greatest fans of the Northwoods League. You're going to have a great time meeting them. So let's get close and cheer on the Stingers.
So a packed house on hand to see the debut of Andrew Wick, and also to see if the Stingers can muster a series victory over the Rochester Honkers. This is game 3 of the series between these two teams. The series began on Saturday. That first game was a 5-0 Rochester win. The Stingers only had 2 hits in that game, but last night the bats came alive. Wilmer mustered 18 runs, defeating the Honkers 18-2. In total, 20 hits on the game, a new season high for the Stingers, including 3 by Alex Soleil. He'll lead off in tonight's game. He was 3 of 5 with 4 runs batted in. Tyler Leffler back in there as well. He was 1 for 3, but did a great job of getting on base. He twice walked and was also hit by a pitch. He scored 3 times. Max Kuhn, who's once again slotted in the 3rd position in the batting order, he finished 2 for 4 with a pair of RBI. You go up and down this lineup for Wilmer in last night's game, and everybody made contributions. Mark Flores with 3 RBI on 3 hits. Zach Tillery with 4 RBI on 4 hits. And as I said, just up and down the card, a lot of tremendous success for the Stingers. So to lead off this game for Rochester, it's Kalei Hanawahine. Hanawahine playing in the 3rd time, and the 3rd occasion this series, I should say, is the first pitch from Wick is high and outside. Hanawahine was 1 for 3 in last night's game, 1 for 4 on Saturday. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And it's taken at the belt, and the count evens to 1 ball, 1 strike to Kalei Hanawahine out of Hawaii University. He's batting .267. now Wick shakes off a couple signs, delivers a breaking ball, and Hanawahine swings over the top. And he falls behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. Here to begin the top of the first inning, a scoreless game between Rochester and Wilmer. Barnett and Wick go through the signs once. Wick has to step off the rubber. Now he's ready to go. He's got the sign. Here comes his windup, and the 1-2 pitch is a fastball that misses outside. .92 miles per hour according to our stadium gun, so Wick registering in the low 90s. Here he's got a 2-2 count, and here comes his pitch. Breaking ball this time, gets Hanawahine swinging. Down he goes for out number 1. And an impressive beginning for Andrew Wick. Now he'll face Carter Burgess, the shortstop, and Burgess has an incredible average, .459 on the season. He's got 34 hits in 74 at-bats, including 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 3 home runs. He swings the first pitch and hits it hard, but right at Alex Soleil, the shortstop, and Soleil makes the squeeze. And just like that, there are 2 away here on the top of the first inning. And with nobody on base, that will bring to the plate
The third baseman, Tyler Baker.
Tyler Baker. The batter, Tyler Baker, down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes after a pair of swings. He comes up with nothing. Here's the 1-2 from Wick, and it misses down and outside, so the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Baker out of Wichita State University. Baker playing in third base for the 2nd time in the series. He's listed as a catcher and played there last night, but he gives way to Jared Deacon behind the plate. He's up there with nobody on and 2 down. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Wick. Swing and a miss, and a great start for Andrew Wick. He notches a pair of strikeouts. And through the top of the first inning, the score, Rochester 0 and the Stingers coming up. I'm Ian McLean, and this is Wilmer Stingers Baseball.
And Stingers Baseball. Also, fans, be sure to stick around for tonight's post-game fireworks extravaganza. Family Eye Center. In the R&J Tours Homestead Suite, please welcome the group from Edward Jones. Seated in the CEF Suite, presented by Prairies Edge Casino, please welcome the group KLFD AM 1410 Radio. Hey, they just enjoyed a picnic in the Little Caesars picnic area, so please welcome the group from our Savior's Lutheran Church. Thanks for supporting Stingers Baseball and enjoy tonight's game. Hey fans, and the Stinger players, lead us home during tonight's game. One lucky fan will win $20,000 towards a new vehicle at Mills Automotive. If you'd like to be eligible, you must be 18 years of age or older, and you need to sign yourself up at the registration stand.
So Andrew Wick back out on the mound for Wilmer, a tremendous beginning to his career as a Wilmer Stinger. He struck out 2 and put down the honkers in order. Now he'll face the 4, 5, and 6 batters, Alex Greer, Michael Pomeroy, and Kevin Barker. Greer has a good average, but probably even better power. batting .361 on the season, 39 hits in 108 at-bats. He's got 7 doubles and 7 home runs, and he leads the team with 26 RBIs. So typically you like to face him when nobody is on base, and that's the case right here as we begin the top of the second inning. So Wick will face Greer. Here's the first pitch from Wick. Swing and a miss. So Wick jumps ahead of the batter. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody on base, nobody out here in the top of inning number 2, and there's a ball rolled foul base, third base side, foul on the ground as you can imagine. And Wick jumps ahead here. No balls, 2 strikes. He goes to the windup. Here's his 0-2 pitch. And Greer swings and drives one deep center field. This one is back over the wall for a home run. And Rochester takes an early 1-0 lead on the blast to center field by Alex Greer. Boy, Wick had him down in an 0-2 hole, but then he just located one a little bit over the plate. Chris Barnett was set up on the outside. And Greer hits his 8th home run of the season. And that brings up Michael Pomeroy. So nobody on base, nobody out, and Rochester now leads 1-0 as the first pitch from Wick misses outside. And the 1-0 this time misses inside on another fastball. The 2-0 to Pomeroy is rolled to shortstop. Soleil has it, and he throws him out, fielded by Halavandaris at first base. And that is good for out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. Rochester leading 1-0 on the home run by Alex Greer. His 8th of the season. He had a grand slam a couple of nights ago against Alexandria.
Left fielder Kevin Barker.
So the batter now is Kevin Barker. Barker playing in left field tonight. He shows bunt and pulls the bat back. And jumps ahead in the count 1-0 on a pitch outside from Wick. Again, that pitch registering in the low 90s. 91 miles per hour to be exact. Wick to his windup. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled at the plate, back to the screen. And the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 misses high. And Barker ahead of Wick here. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Jared Deacon is on deck, nobody on base. Rochester with a 1-0 lead. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted toward right center field. Brennan comes over, but the right fielder, Logan Moon, calls him off. He makes the catch. And that is out number 2. So Greer hits a leadoff home run, and then Michael Pomeroy grounds out 6-3, and Kevin Barker flies out to right field. Now the batter is Jared Deacon, the catcher, batting number 7 in the order. Deacon with a .250 average, and he swings at the first pitch, rolls it to Leffler at second. He takes it on a hop and throws to Halavandaris to end the inning. So Rochester adds a run on the homer by Alex Greer, and we move on to the bottom of the second. I'm Ian McLean. The score here, Rochester 1, Wilmer 0. We move on to the bottom of the second inning. This is Wilmer Stingers Baseball.
Thank you, Mike. I am down here with Jim and Shirley.
Thanks to Charter for supporting Wilmer Stingers Baseball. Switch to the Charter Triple Play and get 3 great services for one low price. Get Charter TV and digital with on-demand, the nation's most powerful internet, and Charter Phone.
So Andrew Wick back on for the top of the third inning. Wick has done a pretty good job. He made just one mistake, and Alex Greer made him pay for it. He put a 0-2 fastball over the wall out there in center field, which is really no small feat given that the wind is drifting in today. And Greer took that 0-2 pitch, as I mentioned, for a home run, his 8th of the season. He's given his team, the Rochester Honkers, a 1-0 lead over your Wilmer Stingers. So Wick takes his warm-up tosses, ready to face the number 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Jeff Campbell, Jared Watts, and Kalei Hanawahine. Campbell batting .216, Watts batting .225, and of course Hanawahine with a .267 average. He's 0 for 1 on the game. A strikeout victim caught looking back in the first inning. Now Campbell, the right-hander, stands in there. And the first pitch from Wick misses outside on a fastball. He goes to his windup. And now another pitch down and outside. At the count, 2 balls, no strikes with nobody on and nobody out. Here in the top of the third, Rochester 1, Wilmer 0. The batter is Jeff Campbell. The first baseman stands in there. The 2-0 pitch from Wick is swung on and hit hard to right field. Going back is Logan Moon. He runs it down in front of the warning track for out number 1. So Campbell had a good swing on a 2-0 pitch, but Logan Moon able to track it down out there in right field. Now the batter is Jared Watts, the second baseman. Watts out of Bethel University. He stands in there, the left-hander has the pitch on the way. He tries to drag a bunt up towards first base. And he went across the plate. It's strike 1. Nobody on base. Here's the windup, and the pitch from Wick misses high and outside, and the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 down. The batter, Jared Watts, here in the top of the third inning. Rochester leads 1-0. Watts for that .225 average on the season. Takes a pitch that misses inside, and the count now in favor of the hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wick's next pitch on the 2-1 is hit high into the air in center field. Britton tracks it down over in front of the track. He's under it, makes the catch, and there are 2 away with nobody on base as we return to the top of the order. And Kalei Hanawahine 0 for 1. First time through the order for Wick. He only gives up 1 hit, but Rochester, more specifically Alex Greer, makes him pay for it on the home run. Now Hanawahine comes up to bat. Center fielder for Rochester out of Hawaii. 0 for 1 in the game, a .267 average coming into the game. First pitch he sees is a fastball that misses inside. Now the 1-0, this time an off-speed pitch, also misses just inside. That one had some left to right action if you're looking from Wick's perspective. Looked like it might have been on the inside corner, but no call from Tyler Black, the home plate umpire. Now there's a pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 1 by Hanawahine. And the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hanawahine has hit safely in every game of the series. 1 for 5 in the first game, 1 for 4. And now he's got a hit here. So he's collected at least 1 hit in every game. And he's on base with 2 down after the base hit to center field.
For Rochester, the shortstop, and And your Pepsi-Cola K-Man of the game, Carter Burgess.
So now with 2 down and the runner at first, Kalei Hanawahine, he's got speed over there. He takes the lead. Wick will go to the stretch for the first time in the game. And his first pitch to Carter Burgess is outside. Burgess was swinging at the first pitch in his first at bat, lining out to the shortstop, Alex Soleil. Here he jumps ahead of the count. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down here in the top of the third. And Wick will throw to first base, runner back in time. Wick has a long look in, and Barnett's sign, he takes it and pitches down low. Carter Burgess, the batter, 0 for 1 in the game with a .459 average on the season. He bats here with 2 down, a 2-0 count, and Hanawahine at first base. He's not going on the pitch, and it's hit hard toward right center field. Brennan on his horse. He tracks it down, and the inning is over. So a trio of fly ball outs, a 2-out single, and 1 left. And through 2.5, it's Rochester 1, Wilmer 0. And for the Stingers here in the bottom of the third, they'll sit up the top of the order. Alex Soleil, Tyler Leffler, and Max Kuhn.
Abby is so pumped up right now. She's not even going to tell us what's going on, so I'm going to try and do the best I can. We got to hear this from Barry, folks. This is a death-defying task done by Barry. Here we go. Oh, okay. That's all right. That's still dangerous. He is kind of top-heavy, folks. Let's hear it from Barry. Come on, cheer him on. Here he comes.
Looks like Barry comes out on the better end there. An unbelievable jump by our very own Barry as we move on to the top of the 4th inning. Wilmer and Rochester, the Hunkers, the visitors in black with aquamarine teal lettering and numbers. They come to bat here in the top of the 4th. They lead 1-0 on the home run by Alex Greer. And Andrew Wick comes back on for the Stingers. Wick making his season debut out of NC State. He'll be facing Tyler Baker, Alex Greer, and Michael Pomeroy. His first pitch to Baker misses downstairs. And Baker, who is 0 for 1 in the game, has a .271 average on the season. The 1-0 pitch from Wick is swung on and missed. Wick to his windup, and this pitch misses inside. He falls behind Baker. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody on base, and nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Now the 2-1 is chopped towards second. Leffler takes it. He'll have to throw across his body. He bobbled it, and the runner is safe. On a tough play by Tyler Leffler, but he takes the error. And Baker is safe. Leffler had to field that one on a short hop. He got it into his glove, but then had trouble transferring it from his glove hand to his throwing hand, so he earns the error there. And the leadoff runner is aboard for Rochester. Baker at first. Greer now the batter at the plate. He's 1 for 1 with that home run, the only run of the game. Here he comes up with a big swing, but comes up empty. He was down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes, when he lifted that ball towards center field over the wall. That was back in the 2nd inning. And an 0-1 pitch is lifted high to the right side and foul, out of play. And once again, Wick jumps ahead of Alex Greer. No balls, 2 strikes. A runner at first and nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Rochester trying to extend their 1-0 lead. Wick looks over his shoulder toward first. He comes set, and he'll throw that way. Baker back into the bag in time. Greer now with 8 home runs and 27 RBI on the season. Baker does have 2 steals on the season and a swing and a miss on a pitch outside. It gets away from Barnett, but no possibility of advancing as Baker decides not to chance it. He'll stay put at first and retired on strikes.
For Rochester, your designated hitter
Is the batter, Alex Greer.
Your batter of the game, Michael Pomeroy.
So now with 1 down, the batter is Michael Pomeroy. Pomeroy grounded out to the shortstop in his first at bat. That was back in the 2nd inning. And the first pitch here from Wick is a called strike at the knees on the inside corner. .6-3 ground out here could end the inning. There's a runner at first and 1 out. Wick has a long look in. Frozen out there like a statue, and finally he'll step off the rubber. Now he quickly takes the sign this time. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Swung on and rolled to second base. Leffler to second for 1. And a hard slide will prevent Soleil from throwing to first. So Baker with his slide breaks up the double play. And it's a fielder's choice that goes 4-6.
And get local long distance calling, voicemail and more. Even keep your same phone number. Call it there, 1-855-75-SWITCH.
So now Pomeroy, the DH, is standing at first base with 2 down, and Rochester leading 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Kevin Barker comes to the plate for the Honkers. He's 0 for 1 against Wick. He swings, or rather checks his swing. It's a called strike by the home plate umpire. Now a throw toward first. No tag from Halamandaris. Pomeroy back to the bag. Barker with a .395 average on the season. 17 hits in 43 at-bats coming into the game. Now Wick with another throw to first. Again, no tag from Halamandaris. The runner Pomeroy does have 1 steal on the season. Pretty small lead over there with 2 down. And here's the 0-1 pitch to Barker. Buckles his knees, and it's a called strike. And Barker down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 away here in the top of inning number 4. Wick looks in. He takes the sign, looks toward first. Now here he comes from the stretch. This pitch downstairs in the dirt, blocked by Barnett. One ball, 2 strikes. A runner at first and 2 out here in the top of inning number 4. Wick takes a look at the runner. He said, here comes his 1-2 pitch, and it's a grounder up the middle and through the hole. Pomeroy will stop at second. It's a base hit with 2 out for Barker. Now the batter coming to the plate is Jared Deacon with runners at first and second and 2 away.
This announcement for the female Stinger fans. Make sure you mark your calendars for a great night out with the 4th annual Wine, Women, and Baseball presented by Westside Liquor. Thursday, August 8th.
That is hit number 3 on the game for Rochester. They have a pair of singles and a home run.
The catcher, Jared Deacon.
Andrew Wick working here in the top of the 4th inning. He checks the runner Pomeroy at second. His first pitch to Deacon is taken for a called strike. Deacon 0 for 1. He grounded out to second to end the second inning. The catcher with a .250 average. Here comes the 0-1. This time it misses the zone and the count evens to 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Baker began the inning for Rochester by reaching on an error. Alex Greer then struck out, and Pomeroy, who's at second, grounded into a fielder's choice. Followed most recently by a base hit by Kevin Barker. Now a pitch in the dirt outside. Gives the advantage to the batter, Jared Deacon. Deacon out of Cal State Fullerton. Stands in there awaiting the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes from Wick. And it's a breaking ball that just misses, maybe a little bit high, perhaps a little bit outside. Nevertheless, the advantage even more so now to the batter, Deacon. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 down and 2 on here in the top of the 4th. And a swing and a miss, this time by Deacon. And the count has gone the distance between Deacon and Wick. Runners will be going on the pitch. Barker with a pretty good lead at first. Talamanderis not holding him on the bag. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 got him looking on the inside corner, and the inning is over. So Wick runs into a little bit of trouble, but he leaves the pair on base, and through 3.5, the score, Rochester 1, Wilmer 0, and the Stingers will send up the 4, 5, and 6 batters, Mark Flores, Zach Tillery, and Nick Talamanderis. I'm Ian McLean, and this is Wilmer Stingers Baseball.
The 5th inning is the Candy Entertainment strikeout inning. If our Stinger pitcher Andrew Wick records a strikeout this inning, all fans seated in section 202, row K, will receive a certificate at Candy Entertainment Center.
So Andrew Wick has done a good job through 4 innings, but he trails 1-0 as we move on to the top of the 5th. The North Carolina State Wolf, or member of the Wolf Pack, perhaps I should say, he goes back out to the mound. He'll face Jeff Campbell, Jared Watts, and Calais Hanawahine, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Rochester. The Honkers with a 1-0 lead as we move on, as I mentioned, to the top of the 5th. First pitch to Campbell, misses outside. Campbell is 0 for 1. He flied out to right field to begin the 3rd inning. And the first baseman for Rochester with a .216 average on the year. He stands in there awaiting the 1-0 pitch with nobody on and nobody out. Takes a big rip, comes up empty-handed, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 is swung on and hit toward right, very shallow. Going out at second base is Leffler. He makes the catch in front of Logan Moon, the right fielder, and there's 1 away to begin the 5th inning.
The Stingers are proud to serve Hinterland Vineyards wine all season long at the Beehive. Hinterland Vineyards, located 1 mile east of Clare City on Highway 23 and 120th Avenue. For Rochester's second baseman, Jared Watts.
So now the batter is Jared Watts. He flied to center field back in the 3rd. And Watts with his .216 average. Beg your pardon, a .225 average. Don't want to shortchange in those 9 points. He takes a called strike and falls behind. No balls, 1 strike, nobody on, and 1 down. Rochester leads 1-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Next pitch from Wick misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 is fouled at the plate. Now the 1-2 pitch misses down and outside. The batter, Jared Watts for Rochester. Watts was 0 for 3 in last night's game. And he takes a pitch close to the zone, but it misses outside, and the count has gone the distance. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and 1 down to the second baseman, Jared Watts. Kalei Hanawahine is on deck. He's 1 for 2. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. A strikeout for Andrew Wick.
Hey, with that strikeout. All fans in section 202 row K.
And for Wick,
Receive a certificate
that is
from the
strikeout
KC
number 5 on the
Dolphins.
game through 4 2/3 innings. So Wick, holding true to his numbers in college, he struck out just under 9 per 9 innings. He's got 5 here through 4 2/3, as I mentioned. Now we go back to the top of the order. Kalei Hanawahine, the batter, he's 1 for 2. Had that 267 average coming into the game. And the first pitch he sees misses inside. Ball 1. Hanawahine with 32 hits on the year now. 7 doubles, 1 triple, no home runs. And the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. And the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody on base, and 2 outs recorded here in the top of inning number 5. Rochester leads 1-0 as Hanawahine takes his time stepping back into the box. He digs up some dirt, waves his bat. Wick goes to his windup. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Another swing and a miss, and Hanawahine falls behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now once again, Hanawahine taking his time. He looks like he's digging a trench over there in the batter's box. We'll see if it helps him out here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just misses outside, and the count evens to 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kalei Hanawahine. Now the 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. Strike 3, 6th strikeout of the game for Andrew Wick. And the inning is over. So we move on now to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the bottom 3rd for Wilmer, Logan Moon, Danny Britton, and Chris Barnett. I'm Ian McLean, and this is Wilmer Stingers Baseball. The always amazing, never dull Barry gives us more entertainment between innings as we move on to the top of the 6th. The Stingers with 3 in the bottom of the 5th take a 3-1 lead, and Andrew Wick goes back out to the mound.
The Pepsi Cola K-Man shortstop, Carter Burgess.
First pitch to Carter Burgess is a called strike. Now Burgess swings over the top of this one, and he falls behind. No balls, 2 strikes. That pitch at 82, the first one at 90. So Wick effectively changing speeds here and keeping batters off balance. He's got 6 strikeouts as we enter the top of inning number 6. Here's his 0-2 pitch to Carter Burgess. Swung on and hit hard through the whole left side. Burgess does a good job getting the barrel of the bat out over the plate, drives that one. And he has a leadoff single here in the top of inning number 6. 3-1 the score. 2-run home run in the last half inning for Tyler Leffler, his first of the season. And the Stingers leading, but now they've got a leadoff runner on base. And they'll deal with the number 3 hitter for Rochester, Tyler Baker. Baker swings at the first pitch and fouls it back into the net for strike 1. So Carter Burgess collects his first hit of the game. He stands at first base after lining out in the first inning, flying out in the 3rd. Baker is officially over 2, though he did reach on an error in the 4th inning. Now the 0-1, he swings over the top of a breaking ball. And Wick once again ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. He'll go to the stretch, and this pitch is high and outside. Barnett just getting his glove on it. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, and a runner at first for Tyler Baker from Topeka, Kansas. He goes to school at Wichita State, playing at third base for the 2nd time in the series. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High and outside, and the count between Wick and Baker has evened at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex Greer is on deck, and he's not a guy you want batting with runners on base. He homered earlier in the game for the only run for Rochester. Now here's the 2-2, and it misses outside. The count has gone from 0-2 to 3-2, and the count full with nobody down. And Carter Burgess, the shortstop, at first base. Burgess is just 2 for 4 stealing bases on the season. He has a good lead at first. Now here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is not on line, but the Stingers get the strikeout of Tyler Baker. It's stolen base number 3 for Burgess. He stands at second. For Alex Greer, the right fielder, he hit home run number 8 earlier in the game. Now Greer will stand in there for the 3rd time against Wick, with 1 away here in the top of inning number 6. Greer out of Iowa Western holds the bat high over his head, and he swings at the first pitch and just gets a piece of it, fouling it into the catcher for strike 1. Runner at second, no balls, 1 strike to Greer, and the next pitch misses high above the belt. Good in boxing, bad in baseball, as the count is evened at 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 down here in the visitors' half of inning number 6. Burgess at second, Wick looks his way. Now he takes the sign, and this 1-1 pitch is fouled to the right side, out of play. And Wick takes the advantage here against Greer. The count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Michael Pomeroy on deck. He's 0 for 2 on the game. To this point, just 1 run on 4 hits for Rochester. And now Wick looks towards second. He comes with the 1-2 pitch. It's rolled left side, taken by Soleil. His throw to first is not in time. He and Max Kuhn nearly collided there on the infield as Kuhn was trying to take that one. His momentum was carrying him the other way, so he may have had a chance either way. It was a slow, chopping ground ball, and it would have been tough to get anybody, let alone Alex Greer, an outfielder. So Greer is safe at first base on an infield single. Burgess stays put at second on the play. Now runners at first and second. And the batter is Michael Pomeroy with just 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. And the first pitch gets away from Barnett only momentarily, not long enough for Burgess to advance. And it's ball 1 from Wick. (3-1) the score. Wilmer on top, but the tying run is on base for Rochester. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pomeroy swings and fouls it to the left side, out of play. And the count evens. 2-1 ball, 1 strike.
Make sure to call Glassworks in Wilmer, 222-7777. Locally owned and operated. That's Glassworks. Service you can trust.
Wick being very deliberate, takes his time, checks the runner. Now his 1-1 pitch is grounded. First base side, Halleman-Darris makes a diving stop, and they record the out at first on the 3-1 putout. And a great job that time by Nick Halleman-Darris to glove that ball. If he doesn't, a run probably scores from second. Instead, they're runners at second and third, and Kevin Barker now the batter. Barker is 1 for 2. He has flied out and singled, and he comes up in a big spot with a pair of runs in scoring position. In fact, the run at second base represents the potential tying run. So the right-hander making his debut for Wilmer, Andrew Wick, in a tight spot here. He'll go after Barker, and his first pitch is fouled back to the screen for strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Barker, the left fielder, up at the plate with runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. Once again, a fastball from Wick. Barker can't catch up to it, and he fouls it back and out of play. Barker falls down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Barker out of the University of California, Davis. Behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Wick looks into Barnett, takes the sign. He'll go to his windup with runners at second and third and 2 down. His pitch is swung on and missed, and the inning is over. So the 8th strikeout of the game for Andrew Wick comes in a big moment with runners stranded at second and third to end the 6th inning for the Rochester Honkers. And through 5.5, the score, Wilmer 3, Rochester 1. We move on to the home half. It will be Mark Flores, Zach Tillery, and Nick.
For you senior stinger fans, Rice Home Medical is offering the Rice Home Medical Senior Stingers ticket program for each and every Stingers home game. Seniors 65 and over can purchase a reserve ticket for just $5 for every Stingers home game, courtesy of Rice Home Medical.
So Andrew Wick back on for some more action. He's gone through 6 innings already, surrendering just 1 run on 5 hits, and he's struck out 8 while walking nobody. So Wick has dazzled here in his first appearance for the Stingers on the season. He'll be facing the bottom third of the order. Jared Deacon steps up there. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded up. He's also struck out both times he's batted. He's ended an inning. Here he'll lead off. The first pitch he sees from Wick misses inside. Deacon showing bunt, pulls the bat back. 5-1, Wilmer on top. 3 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. Now here's the 1-0 here on the top of the 7th. And I believe, no, it did not hit the batter. Instead it just misses inside and gets away from Barnett, the catcher. And the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. Here's the windup and the 2-0 pitch. Misses high and inside. And Wick, who has not walked anybody the entire game, is in danger of doing so right here. Behind in the count to Jared Deacon. 3 balls, no strikes. Here comes his 3-0. This time right down the pipe. Now his 3-1 pitch misses high, and Deacon draws a leadoff walk to begin the top of the 7th inning. That was pitch number 93 by Wick. And good news abounds here at Bill Taunton Stadium as the Stingers lead 5-1, but not such good news coming out of Riverfront Stadium. The Waterloo Bucks, who have a one-game lead over the Stingers as we come down the stretch run of the first half of the season. The Bucks with a 5-1 lead of their very own over the Mankato Moondogs. That game is in the top of the 8th, so the Moondogs are batting. And this pitch is off the glove of Barnett, and it's a pass ball. It will permit Deacon to advance towards second. So the Stingers have a lead, but this game's still young. The Honkers still have a good enough order. They can't take anything for granted here. Now with the count 1-0, Holland will come out and visit with his pitcher, Andrew Wick. There's a pair of arms warming in the bullpen.
The date is Thursday, July 11th. And for our female Stinger fans, make sure you mark your calendars for a great night out with the 4th annual Wine Women Baseball, presented by West Side Liquor, Thursday, August the 8th.
So now Holland has returned to the dugout. Runner at second, nobody out. 1-0 pitch on the way to Campbell. He swings and hits one high into the air in fair territory. And Halamandaris, the first baseman, on the edge of the infield grass, makes the catch. 4 out, number 1.
Second baseman, Jared Watts.
So now the number 9 hitter, Jared Watts, he's 0 for 2. He has flied out and struck out. And the first pitch he sees is taken for a called strike. Runner at second, 1 away here in the top of inning number 7. Andrew Wick pitching for the Stingers. His next pitch is fouled to the left side, out of play. And Wick jumps ahead of yet another batter. No balls, 2 strikes. He's made a living doing this tonight. Though not literally making a living, of course, as he is still an amateur pitching out of North Carolina State. But with stuff like this, you could very well see him in the pros someday. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Grounded to the right side and foul. Just past the 9 o'clock hour. Cool conditions, or actually perfect conditions, 77 degrees. Stadium lights shine down on the field. The count is no balls and 2 strikes to Jared Watts. 1 down, runner at second, and the 0-2 pitch misses outside. And the count between Wick and the batter Watts is at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watts with a .226 average coming into the game. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Wick checks the runner at second. Here comes his 1-2 pitch. Swung on, rolled, right side. Second baseman Leffler has it. He throws to first to record the out. Runner advances second to third, but there are 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. So now the batter will be Kalei Hanawahine. Hanawahine, the center fielder, comes to bat with the runner at third and 2 down. Hanawahine is 1 for 3. He is singled, and he's twice been caught looking. That last pitch on the ground out was number 100 on the game for Wick. He goes to his windup, and his pitch just misses inside. At the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at third is Jared Deacon. Now Hanawahine steps out, he digs in, waves his bat, and here comes the 1-0 pitch from Wick. And it misses down low in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner at third and 2 down here in the top of inning number 7. Rochester trailing Wilmer 5-1. Honkers at the plate. Now Wick has the sign. Here comes his 2-0 pitch. It's a ground ball toward the middle off the mound. Soleil takes it, and actually it goes just under his glove. It's a base hit. That ball took a strange bounce off the mound. It's a hit for Hanawahine, who even had Soleil fielded that, probably would have been safe at first. And the run scores from third. Now the score, Wilmer 5, Rochester 2 on the RBI single by Hanawahine. He had an RBI last night. He's got 1 tonight, and on the season, he's got 12. He stands at first base for Carter Burgess. Burgess singled in the 6th, was stranded at third to end that inning. He swings to the first pitch. He's got one going toward the gap in right center. This is trouble. It's to the wall. Hanawahine at third. He's going to round third and go for home. Hanawahine will score. The throw to third base is in time. The Stingers get the put out. 9-6-5. Carter Burgess is out at third, and the inning is over. However, Rochester scores 2 runs, and through 6.5 the score, Wilmer 5, Rochester 3. We move on to the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm Ian McLean, and this is Wilmer Stingers Baseball.